nice chained edges all the way around, because once you pull those, they'll look more like a chain. There we go. Now we're ready to start again on our half circles. I'm going to pull it like that really. Okay, so same thing. We're just repeating that other. So you're here, we just finished that. You have a whole ridge right there. You are going to immediately go into your wrap and turn to the next to the last peg. Start back on your pearls so that you have, it's exactly the same thing we did the first time. And I do realize that the written instructions, it is very hard to try to write this out where it, whenever you're not having a pattern, whenever, you're trying to make it for any size loom, you're trying to make a generic pattern for however many pegs that you're going to cast on. It's sometimes it's so hard to write that out and make it sound coherent. Okay, so here we go. I mean, if I had a definite number and I was writing it out, that would be no problem whatsoever. Okay, so here we are. We're down. We've got it. We do a solid row of knits, or we skip the first one, and then we do our row of knits, and then we'll come back in a purl, so we have a whole slip in that first one, so we have that whole garter ridge between each wedge. Actually kind of finishes off our wedge, except that last one, because that's where we're going to be joining. Okay, so now then, you got one wedge done. Now, oops, what am I doing? So now we just need to do those other 6, just like we did. And then I will meet back up with you when I'm almost done with that, or whenever I am done with that 6th wedge. Okay, I just finished my 6th little wedge. Of course, it's little because you can see now it'll come back around here. And a nice semicircle up here. I still have my wraps. There. Now then, how I'm going to show you how to do this is we're going to go ahead and you can either finish this off 2 ways. You can either go ahead and do your bind off, and then you can seam those 2 sides together with a mattress stitch. And if you do that, you might want to do a chain cast on as well, so that both your sides match. You wouldn't have to do that. Or, how I'm going to show you in this video, let me get this back in, we are going to place our cast on stitches, or cast on loops, back on each peg. So, since we did a E-wrap cast on, you can see the difference between here, the cast on, and where we just finished our doing our half circles. Okay, so you can see where we've got it. And here's our first one, and we're going to put it on that peg. So we're going to start with this peg over here. Oops. And you're going to put your E-wrap cast on back on. Some of the loops get kind of funky with the when you're doing it. I'm not particularly fond of an E-wrap cast on, but it Oops. It works in these situations. There. Now then we've got it on, so now you've got your, you've got 2 loops on your odd numbered pegs, and you've got 3 because of your last wrap and turn on your even numbered pegs. Okay. I keep saying okay. Now then, I'm going to show you how to do the basic bind off, but we're not going to do it like we normally do, because when you normally do a basic bind off, you go ahead and you knit the first one and the second one, but on this one we're not going to. We're only going to go ahead, we're going to slip that first one, we're going to leave it just like it is. We're going to knit off the second peg, knit all the bottom loops over the top. Make sure you keep this loose, because anytime you use the basic bind off, make sure it's loose, or else your bind off will be tighter than your cast on. So then we're going to take that off, we're going to put it over here on the first peg, and then we're going to knit over what's on bottom, because we just moved this loop over. This is the loop from peg 2. We're just going to go ahead and knit over here. Now then we're going to put that loop back on this empty peg here. Now let's do that again. Now this is peg 1, this is peg 2. We're going to knit peg 2. We're going to take the loop off peg 2, put it on peg 1, and knit off peg 1. Take that back off, put it back over here. Try not to cinch your loop back up, because see, you've got your working yarn still attached to this loop, and you want to keep that loose. Now then, once again, this is turned into peg 1 since we moved it back over. Peg 2, knit off. Oops, keep that one on. Loosen that up. Take the loop off peg 2, put it on peg 1, and knit over. Take that back off, put it back over here. Now then, you have got 2 pegs left, or however many you'll need until you get to the last 2. Take this one off, put it over here, knit off. Now then, one more time, we're just going to, I already have my yarn cut, so what you'll do is you'll just go ahead and you pull your yarn around like this, pull it through. If you haven't already cut your working yarn, go ahead and cut it, and then just go ahead and pull that on through that last loop. Now